talk about how to easily tell if your coins are silver or just basic clad. Here's a bunch of clad half dollars. Let's talk about starting with the dollar coins. Only Eisenhower's, I'm not sure only, but mostly the ones minted with an S are going to be silver. Any like piece dollars are all going to be 90% silver with a melt value of $12. If you have a 40% Eisenhower, I think it's $4 or $5 per melt value. Sorry if my voice is going to sound bad or I'm going to like pause. I don't know why I do that. I do not want to, but alright, so that's for silver. I don't have any silver dollars. But here's the half dollar. Let's talk about half dollars. So any half dollar minted before 1964. 1964 will be a Kennedy. 1963 to 48 or 47. 48 will be a Ben Franklin, which is this, which I got for free from the bank. Will be 90% silver with a melt value of about $5 to $6 in today's melt value. Silver pricing. This is a Walk in Liberty. Here's the 40%ers. They're worth about $2.30 in melt value. So you make a profit about $2 to $1.80 melting them. And this one, so we need to talk about this because if I put this next to a clad half dollar, you are not gonna know it's silver. So we're gonna talk about how to easily tell. So 40% half dollars are minted from 1965 to 70. The chance of you finding on 1970 though is extremely slim because those are like a collector's item. They're not really mint because these were minted in such high volume that only at 2 million. So let's talk about how to easily tell. The most foolproof way is, of course, going to be checking the date. But if you're coin roll hunting, I'm going to put one of them in here, a 40%er. And you see the one with the light edging where I'm pointing at? That's the silver. This is all clad. Clad half dollars have a copper edging to it. So you're going to know automatically that's silver if you see it. Now, a 90% is going to be even more lighter. I don't know how to say it, but you can tell that's definitely a 90%er. But what if I put this one in here? This one. What if you're not going to know it's silver? I mean, it might have an odd color to it, but sometimes they still do have their copper, a little bit of a copper edge to it. And that's where it's called sound checking. What that involves is taking a handful of clad half dollars while you're hunting, and with the suspected ore. This is to check if you actually have silver. I'm gonna put this right here. I'm gonna put this tablet, my iPad, right here. I'm gonna show you exactly how you check for 40. So we're gonna take a handful. We know there's a 40%er. So we're going to do this. We're going to drop them on my hand. Feel. And we're going to hear, it's going to make a different sound. It's going to be much lighter than your clad. You hear that? You heard that, guys. So a clad half dollar is going to sound like this when you drop it. But a silver is going to sound like, you hear that? So it's going to sound like a lighter tone to it. It's going to have a much lighter sound to it. You can obviously tell once you hear the difference if you have silver. So I'm going to take some of these up with the suspected silver. Yep, I heard that right there. That's the 68. So that's another easy way of telling if you're coin roll hunting and you do not like to, you know, mess around. Now with the 90%ers, it's going to be much more evident. You hear that? And you're going to see it's a Ben Franklin. You're automatically going to be like, oh, I just scored something big. But yeah, you can see the edging. You heard that? So that's another easy way. So yes, you can see that that's a silver right there. Because it's going to be an outlier, because it's not like the whole row is going to be silver. Very rare that would actually happen. And one more way of checking if a coin is silver. Let me do this too. I'm going to take some clad half dollars. You're going to ping it. You're going to put your finger on it and go like this. It's going to make a dinging sound, but it's going to be, doesn't last long. With a silver. We need to do it with a silver though. So I'm going to take a silver and do it. Nope. Now let's do it with silver. 2 silvers. Now you're going to hear the pinging sound. You just put it halfway in your finger and go. So yeah, it's gonna ring much differently, much more differently. So here's 40%, 1968, 68, 67. So that's an easy way to tell if you got silver. You might think, well, that's a clad. Well, like I said, this sound test, it will sound much different. And listen carefully. Don't just do it like fast. You need to do it slow. Now for quarters, it's a little bit different. Any quarter minted before 1964 and older is going to be 90% silver. There's no 40%ers. And same thing with this. You can see it's the silver edging, then that's the copper edging. It's really hard to find silver quarters in circulation. Yeah, it's definitely going to have a lighter sound. You can't do it as much. It's not really going to be as evident on a silver quarter, but only with foolproof way, of course. Checking the date, that's a 44. And the edging, it's going to be pretty evident if you have a silver. You can see the difference easily. Here's 4 more silvers. You can tell which 2 are clad. This one on the end, and this one, the third one in. Now for dimes, it is pretty similar, same concept. Here's a bunch of silver dimes. I'm going to take some Roosevelts and compare it to a non-silver Roosevelt. You can tell there's a huge difference at the edging. And 1964 and older is going to be 90% silver. I'm sorry, for a quarter, the melt value is going to be up $2.75. And a dime is about $1.10. So yeah. You can tell just by how worn it is as well. You can see the difference in the color, how it looks. But some of them look beautiful. So the only way is looking by edge and date for silver dimes. And you can tell which one is not the silver dime easily in this stack. The one with the copper edging, which is going to look, like I said, you can see it right there. Of course, you can probably do a ping test. No, it's probably too small. But, I mean, the best place to look for silver is in half dollars, honestly. That's just a clad dime. Now, also, you can look for silver in nickels, believe it or not. Now, we're going to talk about nickels. In 1942, late, this is going to be late, it's not just going to be any 42. Till 45, nickels were minted with a composition of 35% silver with a melt value about 90 cents a piece. In silver, 80 to 90 cents. So that's definitely the lowest silver content for a coin. And you can kind of tell if it's silver. Like some of them, like these edges, you can tell, but sometimes you can't. Now, you can tell the toning on these would look like this. This is the average 1940 quarter. I'm sorry. You can tell it has a different toning to it. And the biggest way you're going to know is the mint mark on one of these would be located right here. But it's located right at the top. So all the silvers have a mint mark right at the top where it says P on top of the Monticello. Jefferson's. You can tell it looks so much different than an average. But you can't do a ping test on this. So here's an average one. You can tell, but you can't do. It's going to sound exactly the same. The only way is, of course, the best way is to look around the edges. And those are all the silver coins US minted. Not all, I'm sorry about it, but the ones you can find today. Yep. And here's this. And here's all my silver. I'm going to check one more time because I do not want to give the bank my silver, especially the ones I paid a lot for. I know I have 4 40%ers, 68, 67. Yeah, so let me screw this back on, and you can tell easily if this is all silver. First, a clad edge, which would look like this. These two are clad. These are all clad. You can tell just by the color of them. None of these. A lot of these are NIFCs, but I'm not keeping NIFCs because I would have a shitload of them if I actually did. That's not an NFC, but anyways, that's how you easily tell if your coins are silver. Thanks for watching.